Let's get a better sense of what the tourism sectors across sub-Saharan Africa are like in the wake, of course, of the Ebola outbreak in West Africa and the subsequent flight cancellations that we have seen by some carriers as well. Tom Putnam is Javago's head of marketing. He's with me in studio right now. As I understand it, you've got 8,000 hotels using your booking platform in Eastern and Western Africa.
Yeah.
Given that reach, what are booking trends like, especially from around March when coverage of the Ebola crisis really picked up?
So around March it was fine.
Mm-hmm.
We have, of course, seen a decline in bookings in West Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily for us, most of our hotels in West Africa and Nigeria, and that's not been as affected as Sierra Leone, Liberia and Guinea.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously in those places things have really taken a nosedive. A lot of the travel that we see is within countries and within the region. So we haven't had such an impact from people being afraid to go to Africa.
Yeah.
There's this thing of people, seeing Ebola is in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to go there at all.
Mm-hmm.
Particularly in Nigeria, it's a big business zone. There's a lot of travel for business there, so that's still been going on. In East Africa, we haven't had too much of an impact until now. Of course, the highlight has been on the security situation.
Mm-hmm.
Now with Kenya Airways shutting down its flights, of course, regardless of whether people want to travel or not between West Africa and East Africa, it's very difficult. So that's clearly having an impact. But I think that most people who are, there's still travel to Kenya. There haven't been any cases that have put people off yet. But of course it's a huge risk. The moment that we see 1 or 2 cases in Kenya, I think that could change things enormously.
But let's get back to the Kenyan question a little bit in a bit more detail. Before Ebola broke out in West Africa, I mean, this country's tourism sector is already under fire. Insecurity, we've seen at least 100+ people killed between June and today. Before that, there were travel advisories from the United Kingdom, so the numbers already fairly depressed. But based on what you've seen, especially in the last 3 weeks, given all this hullabaloo about should Kenya Airways cancel or not, have we seen a drop in numbers and bookings coming through?
We haven't seen a huge impact in our numbers, but that is because a lot of our travel is within Kenya. And so we saw the same thing with the insecurity issues. It didn't kill tourism, it just changed where people were going. So rather than going to the north coast, they maybe went to Naivasha. Same thing here. People are in Kenya. If you're already in Kenya, it doesn't really, people aren't scared of travelling. Whether you're in Nairobi or whether you're in Lamu, Diani, Ebola is the same. I'm not in a great position to tell you exactly what's been happening with the figures from the UK, the US, India, for example. I have no doubt that they are taking a bit of a hit because Africa's a huge place. Nigeria, Guinea, Liberia, Sierra Leone are a huge distance from Kenya, and with flights being cut off, they might as well be overseas. But people do see Africa as a scary continent.
Why does that still persist? I mean, it's fairly straightforward. Anyone who's got access to an atlas can see there's a 50+ different countries. So why is it that Africa is still treated as this, oh, you're just one big fat country, and therefore if something happens in this end, I can't go over there, like what happened in Korean Airlines, for example?
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. I mean, I guess it happens everywhere, right? So people coming to Africa see that. You see people who go and do Europe. They see Europe as one country. So, part of it is just an ignorance thing. I guess also the way things are marketed. Often, a huge part of Africa's tourism is safaris and wildlife. And actually, whether you're going to go and do that in South Africa or in Kenya, it's marketed in exactly the same way. People see the same product. And they probably feel like they're going to somewhere that's very
more or less
similar.
the same country.
Exactly. I guess that's where it comes from.
Well, we'll have to deal with it. We've got more homework to do on that front. But thank you very much for your time. Tom Putnam, head of marketing.